What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 Clash 2024 series. We're here for episode number 5 today as we get set then to continue our march through Series 3. If you guys did miss the previous episode when we did get into Series 3, definitely be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. And yes, we are finally starting to upload these a bit quicker now, so hopefully we will be seeing more of these come out very soon. And of course, on the day that I am recording this, August 13th, the legendary drivers have been announced and are fully released in the F1 Clash game. So hopefully I will be pumping up these episodes enough to the point where we can get to the legendary drivers very soon. But for now, we're just opening a bunch of crates right now, just trying to get a bunch of new assets. As you saw earlier, we got a new rear wing, I should say, and a new driver in the form of the rare Kevin Magnussen. Decent driver all around, only really lacks so far in the overtaking category. His qualifying is decent, everything else is relatively good, especially his defense. Of course, the Danish Minister of Defense coming in absolute clutch here. And as you can see, looking through the drivers here, I was having a look at Ricardo. He has a very good qualifying stat. His race start stat's a bit low, and of course I'm just trying to harvest a bit of coins right now just because we're a bit low on that currency, and maybe if we upgraded him we could use him in the future episodes. But for now, I think the lineup I have with Sargeant and Hulkenberg, it's actually not that bad of a lineup. We actually have a very strong lineup between both drivers. Hulkenberg can overtake, and Sargeant can qualify up high, and I can just use some nice defense modes to hopefully hold him off. We are opening a bunch of crates here just to see what assets we get. We also get one buck, which really isn't that ideal, but I mean, can't really complain too much about that. But yeah, we are upgrading our way through this. We're gonna enter one of these races. A guy who has a team rating of 275, so on paper we should be beating this guy, but hopefully we'll be able to get through this quite quickly. Anyways, then heading our way into qualifying. It is raining then in Baku, so we're gonna have to be careful about it. I think this is the track though, which is a 100% chance of rain, so maybe it's just going to be a straight wet race. Anyways, Hulkenberg got absolutely screwed over by our rivals using Magnussen and Tsunoda, but luckily Sargeant is up there, and luckily for us, it is a full wet race, so we won't have to worry about strategy and when to switch, excuse me, when we switch onto the dry tires. So we're just going to have to play this out carefully and see where we are. We're going to give Sargeant the self-control boost, and then Hulkenberg, we're going to give him the downforce boost just to try give him a bit more tire wear advantage. 5 red lights, and we are underway for a very slow getaway for both drivers there. But Sargeant makes his way up into 17th there, and well, he gets immediately re-overtaken back into 18th, and then immediately goes back up into 17th. As we now make our way down towards turn 3. Sargeant is continuing to make his way up, as is Hulkenberg, as he's now up into 22nd, as Sargeant makes his way up into 15th there. And yeah, so far we're not looking too bad, as Sargeant also makes another overtake into 14th. Hulkenberg is in 21st. I'm just trying to see if we can get him up the order. Now he's up to 20th, which so far looks pretty good for us as we now make our way onto the main straight. This is another easy place where we can save a bit of tires thanks to the conserve mode on the power unit, and you can see us taking a picture there because, well, we often have to document our absolute dominance so far as we get overtaken. We're gonna ignore what I just said, but yeah, we're gonna start pitting some of these guys soon. Hulkenberg's gonna be coming at the end of this lap because he has worse tire management. I think his tire management literally is like 3 or something like that. I think that was at the base level. I'm not 100% sure. As we take another picture just to make sure we get some cool shots for the thumbnails. But yeah, he's going to be coming at the end of this lap then as he tries to get past Magnussen, but unfortunately that will not work. Magnussen's defense stat is very strong, as is Hulkenberg's overtaking stat, so it will just be a matter of can we catch him out. But for now, we're just going to stick behind him, and then we'll be able to hopefully overtake him on the next lap. We're going to be pitting in Sargeant on this coming lap here as he makes his way through the first couple corners, gets past Ricardo there, up into 14th place, and he so far is looking pretty good. We have saved enough battery just so that we can push away from him a little bit as we now make our way out of the pit lane. Then Hulkenberg re-emerges, in P22, with Sargeant quite some ways up there in P14, and he's running a bit low on tires. Just got to make sure we can bring it home, and then once we can just push our way out of the pit lane and hopefully get back into a decent position in the race. And we're still in that stage in Series 3, where we're not really towards the top of the field. We're kind of towards the back end of the field at the moment. But as I said in the last episode, as long as we get a win in Series 3, I mean, it still counts. We can still get some decent assets. And hopefully we'll be able to have some better drivers come next episode. Hulkenberg makes his way down the main straight as Sargeant reemerges in P11. So he has jumped up a couple places. Hulkenberg is now up into P18. So hopefully our strategy is working so far. And for now, it's just going to be about trying to stretch these guys towards the end. And we're going to give Hulkenberg then onto another set of wets. It's going to be a two-stopper for both drivers here. We're going to do Hulkenberg with a 2-2-3 strategy. And then Sargeant goes 3-2-2. So Sargeant's doing the opposite then of what Hulkenberg is doing. So that'll allow that we don't have to worry about double stacking as Hulkenberg got re-overtaken there despite being in that attack mode. So I'm not sure what that's all about. But Sargeant comes down the main straight. He is going to be started then onto lap number 5, and we're going to be pitting him onto the wet tires again. I'm not sure what the AI are doing in terms of strategy. I think some of them are trying to pull off a one-stop, which, I mean, is not really ideal unless you have a super high tire management stat at the moment. So I don't think that's going to really work out for them. So they might have to make a last lap pit stop. So there are still positions up for grabs. So we'll have to see how that ends up in the future. Hulkenberg re-emerged, by the way, in P23. But like I said, there are still people who have to make pit stops. So he will be advancing up very soon. As for Sargeant, he is making his way down the main straight at the moment. He is entering the pits right now as we speak, so he will be changing onto another set of wet tires as now Hulkenberg makes his way down the main straight. There is Sargeant exiting the pit lane, exiting in P17 there. So we are still maintaining the lead then so far, the lead quote unquote compared to our rival as Hulkenberg now makes his way up into P21. Sargeant's in P17, but like I said, I think some guys are still yet to make a pit stop or they're going to run out of tires at the end of the lap. So we're going to have to hopefully make sure that either happen. And if they do happen, then we got to be there to pick up the pieces. Sargeant is up into P16. Hulkenberg's in P20 at the moment. So it's looking good so far. As long as we bring it home in one piece, we should be looking for another win right now. Sargeant is now making his way. And you can see a lot of people making pit stops right now. So let's see how many Sargeant can pick off. He is going to move up into P12. Hulkenberg is also making his way through the first corner. He's going to be up into P15 then. So that's a lot of positions gained for us. So that's a big boost for our drivers. And hopefully just to try and gain a couple more points here. As Hulkenberg is defending away at the other drivers. He now makes his way up into P14 then. Checking the fastest lap. I don't think we're going to be getting the fastest lap at the moment, considering we are getting held up massively by these other guys. But so far, this is looking pretty good. We are going to come home in P12 and P14. So, and we're going to be a bit close on tires there with Hulkenberg. But luckily, we're going to be able to make the line just about there. Sargeant now sets a personal best. Not a fastest lap, but we're going to take that as we come across the line then to win another episode. Pretty strong race then for us here as we watch our rival make his way down the main straight, and he will be finishing behind us. So that is going to be another episode done. Just one race. It was a pretty long race, so it's only one race. But that's going to be it then. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this episode, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode very soon. Goodbye, everyone.